Greetings and salutations to everybody here. Welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here now down to the last 10 days of the series we're running for March, which is my 31 favorite rock albums. 31 favorite rock bands who released 2 albums or more for the same year. So I'm going to put my glasses on, and the album we're going to do today, since we're down to the top 10, they're all really well-known albums to me now. We're really getting into them. And of course, we're talking about BTO's debut album and their second album, or if you want, Brave Belt 3 and Brave Belt 4. Anyways, this was released, both were released in 1973, this one earlier on in the year, this one later on in the year. This one is a pretty solid debut album, I have to say. I do like this cover quite a bit. It's probably next to, I like all of their covers, but probably next to Not Fragile is probably my favorite of their album covers. The Green Album, we call it. So this has some really good stuff on it. Give Me Your Money Please is on here. Starts it out. Hold Back the Water. That really great deep cut from them. Blue Collar Man, another very familiar song with most people who follow the band. Then you've got a little bit different stuff here towards the end. Little Gandy Dancer, that's a kind of a tongue-in-cheek, quirky thing. And then you've got the heavier songs towards the back end. Stay Awake All Night, Down and Out, Don't Get Yourself in Trouble, and Thank You for the Feeling. These are pretty heavy songs. And Down and Out, Man. Yeah, really, really catchy. The whole album is very catchy. It was also probably the first BTO album that I listened to in its entirety back in the day, probably back when I was like maybe in my, mid 13 or 14 years old. Probably back before I really broke out of that Kiss scenario. We were living at a place close to the east end of Toronto, and the library was near there, and for 2 or 3 weeks there, I don't know when it was, maybe a couple of months there, I was taking albums out of the library and just listening to them. This was one of them. One of the other ones was Fly By Night, of course, Bum Rush. But this one I remember taking out. The second album, of course, is this one, BTO 2. Nice picture there of the Bachman brothers with C.F. Turner. So you get Tim, Rob, and Randy Bachman here. This was produced by Randy, so both again in 1973. This overall I don't think is as solid album. It doesn't have as, from top to bottom, it isn't quite as good an album, although it does have some of their bigger hits on here as well. At the same time. So Blown, of course, is the Tim Bachman song that everybody likes to talk about. Pretty decent song. Some of the other stuff, maybe a little bit on the filler side. Welcome Home, Stone Gates. You can take or leave either of them. Let It Ride, of course, is one of their mega hits. It's one of my favorite songs by them. Absolutely killer, hard song. Give It Time, decent song. Tramp is okay. I Don't Have to Hide. That's not a bad track either. Taking Care of Business, of course, is probably their most well-known song, I think. Probably the most well-known song. And their anthem really put them on the board there with that particular track. Yeah, so it's kind of top-loaded. So it's got 2 or 3 really great songs and then some not-so-great songs towards the bottom. So, but still a solid album from 1973, BTO 2. So the 2 albums today, Bachman Turner Overdrive 1 and Bachman Turner Overdrive 2. Please like and subscribe. If you want to make any comments about either of the 2 albums, you can do that in the comments section below, or about Bachman Turner Overdrive. If you want to make any comments about Brave Belt, you can do that as well. And we will see you tomorrow with another album. So have yourself a good afternoon, good evening, and goodbye.